muted microphones for Thursday's final U.S. presidential debate. U.S. President Donald Trump and Democratic challenger Joe Biden will have their microphones muted for parts of their final debate on Thursday to allow each candidate a block of uninterrupted time to speak and avoid the re-anchor of the two candidates' first encounter. Trump repeatedly interrupted Biden during the encounter in Cleveland on September 29th, and the discussion ended up in name-calling and insults.
Agreed with
Here's
Bernie
the deal.
Sanders to the
The whole idea.
Let him.
There is no manifesto, number
Please
one.
let him speak, Mr.
Number
President.
two.
You just lost the left.
Number two.
You just lost the left. You agreed with Bernie Sanders on a plan.
Folks,
absolutely
folks,
agreed
do you have
to,
any
and under that
idea
plan,
what
you have
this
socialized.
We realize that after discussions with both campaigns, and their campaigns may be totally satisfied with the measures encountered today, the Commission said in the statement. We are accountable for those actions strike the right balance and that they are in the interest of the American people for whom debates are held. For this week's 90 minutes debate, the organizers will give each candidate 2 minutes of uninterrupted time at the beginning of each 15-minute segment of the debate. News correspondent Walker will moderate. The only candidate whose microphone will be open during this 2-minute period is the candidate who has the floor under the rules. Izaan Kekimuri, MLI TV.
The fact is, I will accept it, and he will too. You know why? Because once the winner is declared, after all the ballots are counted, all the votes are counted, that'll be the end of it.
Four witnesses told a news agency that soldiers fired at the protesters who had gathered in the Lekki district of Nigeria's largest city in defiance of an indefinite curfew. Hundreds of people were at the site at the time of the shooting, which witnesses said that took place around 7 p.m. local time. Scenes of protesters removing a bullet from someone's wound and pleading for help were broadcast on social media. The governor of state, Sanwo-Olu, said he recognizes the buck stops at his table and will work with the federal government to get to the root of this unfortunate incident and stabilize all security operations to protect the lives of the residents. Lagos is one of 5 Nigeria's 33 states to have announced movement restrictions in the last 2 days. Protesters pledged to remain on the streets regardless. Kabanda Hood for MRU TV.
I mean, it's bad. This one is worse than that one they did. It's the last violent one.
Child labor rising in Ghana and Ivory Coast's cocoa farms. The use of child labor has risen in cocoa farms in Ghana and Ivory Coast during the past decade despite industry promises to reduce it. The prevalence of children doing hazardous work, including using sharp tools, has also gone up in the world's top 2 cocoa producers, according to the study funded by the United States government. The level was higher than in 2010 when companies including Mars, Hasle, Nesso, and Cargill agreed to reduce the cost farms of child labor in Ghana and Ivory Coast cocoa sectors by 70% by 2020. Mars said in a statement that it had committed $1 billion to a responsible sourcing strategy and called for legislation to address the root cause of child labor on West African cocoa farms. Hasle and Nesso referred Reuters to the World Cocoa Foundation industry growing while Cargill did not respond to the request for the comment. Mandy's report cut the estimate of the number of children currently working in cocoa production in the 2 countries to 1.5 million, from more than 2 million in the April study. The U.S. legislators have criticized the industry, and U.S. customs authorities asked cocoa traders earlier this year to report where and when they encounter child labor in the supply chains. Izaan Kekimuri, MLI TV.
Taliban ambush kills dozens of Afghanistan forces in northern province. Dozens of members of Afghanistan's security forces have been killed and many others wounded in the attack by the Taliban in the northern province of Dhaka. Dhaka Provincial Health Director Abdul told a news agency on Wednesday that 34 security personnel were killed in the ambush, including the province's deputy police chief. At least 8 others were wounded in the incident, which took place overnight in Baharaka district, a province that is contested between the Taliban and the government forces. Baharaka is one of the districts of Takwa province where 11 of the 16 districts have been largely controlled by Taliban fighters for years. Earlier this month, thousands of families were displaced by blood conflict in the southern Helmand province. However, the Taliban have not commented the attack yet. Kabanda for MRU TV. Thailand shuts down online TV channel as protests continue. Thailand protesters raised 3 finger salutes to the national anthem at public places across Bangkok on Tuesday as anti-government rallies continued. The government ordered an online TV channel to close over its coverage of the demonstrations. The authorities imposed emergency measures, banning gatherings of more than 4 people last Thursday amid growing protests against the government and the monarchy. 2 protest leaders, Parit Panguin, Chiwarak, and Panusayarang, were arrested on Tuesday on new charges as soon as court freed them bail in relation to previous set of charges. This is not a leaderless protest, but everybody is a leader. Tateford told protesters, where dozens of people gave the salute borrowed from the Hunger Games. Editor-in-Chief of Voice TV, Ritcon, said it would continue broadcasting until court order arrived. Kabanda for MRU TV.